Hey everyone, welcome to the show. Ever feel like sometimes your town is changing like way too fast, like you can't even keep up?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what we're diving into today with Jennifer Bardsley's book, Slow Burn.
Okay.
It's a heartwarming, contemporary romance novel.
Uh-huh.
And the big question it asks is like, what's all this progress really worth if they end up, losing something precious along the way?
Mm-hmm.
We'll definitely put an Amazon link in the description for anyone who wants to check it out.
Perfect.
And by the way, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really, really helps us out. So this book, it takes us to Harper Landing, Washington.
Okay.
It's this charming little seaside town where you meet Dawn Maddox.
Mm-hmm.
She owns this cute antique store.
I love antique stores.
Me too. And she finds herself right in the middle of this battle to save, the local beach.
Oh, wow.
But it's not just about like the SAM and the waves, It's more about the soul of a community, like facing all
Yeah.
this relentless change. What really struck me was how Bardsley takes this whole fight for the beach thing and kind of makes it like a metaphor for something way bigger.
It is fascinating how she uses this seemingly local issue to tap into, these universal anxieties about development and displacement.
Right.
It makes you think about the trade-offs we make in the name of progress and whether economic growth, always has to come at the expense of something precious.
Exactly. And the way she weaves in historical events like the Hanford site, it adds this whole other like layer of complexity to the idea of progress.
Right.
It's not just about some new development on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the long-term consequences of our actions and how they like ripple through generations.
Exactly. It's like she's asking us to think about the hidden costs of development and
Yeah,
not just the environmental impact, but also the erosion of community identity and shared history.
totally. And speaking of history, we got to talk about Dawn's antique shop. It's called The Forgotten Hug.
Oh,
And it's not just a place of business. It's almost like a museum of Harper Landing's past.
I love that.
Every object has a story. And it's so clear that Dawn sees these objects as more than just things to be bought and sold.
Absolutely. The shop is like this powerful symbol of everything the town is at risk of losing.
Right.
It represents the beauty and value and things we often just toss aside for something new and shiny. It's like a tangible reminder of the town's soul.
Yeah. And then you have these developers, right? They just see like dollar signs everywhere. They're completely blind to like the emotional and historical significance of the beach and the whole town itself. It's this clash of values that really fuels a lot of the conflict in the book.
That's what makes the romance between Dawn and Warren so interesting.
More.
Yeah, he's the town's fire captain. And they start off totally at odds, representing these opposite forces of preservation and progress. But as they, work together to try and save the beach, they start to see the world through each other's eyes.
Okay, I gotta admit, I was totally sucked in by that whole enemies to lovers thing.
Yeah,
The tension between them is like electric.
it's so good.
But it's also like way more than just a physical attraction.
Right.
It's about finding common ground, even though they're so different, and realizing that maybe, just maybe, they can build something new together without, totally erasing the past.
And that's where the idea of slow burn really comes into play. It's not just about the romance. It's about the slow, sometimes painful process of change.
Yeah.
It's about learning to appreciate what we already have while also being open to new possibilities.
I love that. And it's not just Dawn and Warren who are going through this, right? Bardsley introduces us to all these quirky and relatable characters who are dealing with these same questions in their own way.
Exactly.
Like Warren's daughter, Michaela.
Oh, yeah.
She's trying to find her place in a world that feels like it's, totally dominated by technology and social media.
Michaela's storyline adds this really interesting layer to the book.
Yeah.
It explores that generational divide in how we see technology. Warren is kind of old school.
Uh-huh.
He's trying to protect his daughter from all the perceived dangers of the online world. But Michaela, she just wants to connect with her friends and express herself. It's a struggle so many families can relate to.
Oh, for sure. I mean, who hasn't had that moment of like total panic when they find out their kid has a TikTok account they knew nothing about?
Right.
But it's through these challenges that Warren learns to trust Michaela and adapt to the changing times. He realizes he can't shelter her from the world forever. And sometimes the best way to protect her is to empower her to navigate it on her own terms.
And that connects back to the bigger theme of the book, right? Finding that balance between holding on to tradition and embracing change. Bardsley isn't saying that one is right and the other is wrong. It's about finding a way to move forward without completely losing sight of who we are and where we came from.
Yeah, I like that.
It's not just about technology, though. Bardsley uses Michaela to kind of explore, like the complexities of family dynamics, particularly like after a divorce.
Hmm.
We see her like grappling with, you know, feelings of abandonment and like longing to connect with her mom,
Right.
all while she's trying to navigate, just being a teenager.
Those scenes were so, like, poignant.
Yeah.
Especially that one where Michaela finds that old photo album
Oh,
and she starts asking Warren all these questions about, like, his marriage to her mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like she's trying to piece together her own history, you know?
Exactly. And it shows how, like, kids are often the ones who really feel the weight of adult decisions,
Yeah.
even when those decisions were made with the best intentions.
Right.
Bardsley doesn't shy away from, like, the messy realities of divorce and the impact it has on everyone.
And it's not just Michaela either.
Right.
Warren's ex-wife, Fiona.
Oh, yeah.
She's a fascinating character, too.
Yeah.
She's not like this villain or anything.
Right.
She's complex.
Mm-hmm.
She's got her own dreams and motivations.
Yeah.
We see her trying to balance, her career and being a good mom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's clear she still cares a lot for Warren and Michaela.
It's refreshing to see, like, a portrayal of divorce that acknowledges all the nuances,
Totally.
and the complexities.
Yeah.
Bardsley avoids, like, easy judgments.
Right.
And instead, she gives us, these flawed but relatable characters
Yeah.
who are all just trying to do their best.
And speaking of complex characters, we got to talk about that Harper Landing Moms Facebook group.
Oh my gosh.
It's like this hilarious subplot
So funny.
that just perfectly captures like the joys and frustrations of online communities.
Right.
It's so relatable, especially that part where someone accidentally sets their microwave on fire, trying to make that viral TikTok recipe.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one.
Bardsley's use of humor is brilliant.
It is.
It adds like levity to the story,
Mm-hmm.
but also provides some insightful commentary on social media culture.
Totally.
Like the pressure to conform and the sometimes absurd ways we connect with each other online.
It's so true.
But it's not all fun and games, though.
Right.
The Facebook group also becomes this platform for Dawn to rally support for saving the beach.
Oh, that's cool.
It shows how, like, even these kind of frivolous online spaces can be powerful tools for community organizing.
Exactly. It's like Bardsley is reminding us that community can be found in the most unexpected places, both online and offline.
For sure.
It's about finding those shared connections and using them to create positive change.
And that brings us back to that central question of the book,
Yeah.
How do we save the things we love without getting stuck in the past?
It's a tough one.
Bardsley doesn't give us any easy answers.
Right.
But she does provide this thought-provoking exploration of, like, the human heart.
Yeah.
And its capacity for love and loss.
She shows us that progress is inevitable.
It is.
But it doesn't have to come at the cost of our values and our sense of community.
Dawn and Warren's journey, both as individuals and as a couple, really embodies this struggle to find balance between honoring the past and embracing the future.
And it's not just about grand gestures or big political wins.
Right.
Sometimes the most meaningful acts of preservation are the small, everyday choices we make.
Totally.
It's about cherishing the stories that connect us, supporting our local businesses, recognizing the beauty in the ordinary.
And it's about recognizing, like, the interconnectedness of our lives.
Yes.
Dawn's fight for the beach isn't just about saving a piece of land.
Right.
It's about protecting a way of life, a sense of belonging, and those memories that make a place feel like home.
Bardsley's writing beautifully captures this sense of interconnectedness.
It does.
Like weaving together these seemingly separate threads into this tapestry that celebrates the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring power of community.
As we've been talking about slow burn, it really struck me how Bardsley uses food.
Oh, yeah.
As this, like, way to connect us to the characters and the setting.
Right.
Like those descriptions of skillingsboller.
Oh, the skillingsboller.
Those traditional Norwegian cardamom buns, they made my mouth water.
Oh, yeah. They sound amazing.
Seriously.
Food plays such a key role in the novel, right? It's not just about, eating. It's about tradition, family rituals, and that, like, comfort of sharing a meal.
Totally. Remember that scene where Dawn and Warren are making Skilling's bowler together with Makeda.
Oh, yeah, that was so sweet.
It's such a heartwarming moment.
It is.
And it shows how food can, like, bring people together, even those who are, like, kind of at odds at first.
Right.
And it highlights that, passing down traditions thing.
To the next generation.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like Bardsley is saying that these small acts, like baking and sharing food,
Yeah.
they're actually really meaningful.
They are.
They're about preserving that connection to the past.
Yeah.
And creating new memories.
I love that. And it's not just the Skilling's bowler. There's the Nothatch Bakery, too.
Oh, yeah, the heart of Harper Landing.
Right.
Struggling
to stay afloat.
Amidst all the changes.
Exactly. And it becomes like this symbol of the town's fight for survival,
Right, a gathering place.
Yeah, where people share stories and support each other.
The Nothatch Bakery really represents the importance of supporting local businesses.
It does.
Like investing in the places that give a community its character.
It's that reminder that our choices as consumers, they really do have consequences.
They do.
And we could, like, make a difference by supporting businesses that reflect our values.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the money either. It's about the sense of community those places create.
Right. Think about all the conversations that happen.
I know.
Over coffee and pastries at the Nothatch.
It's where people connect, share news, build relationships.
Yeah. It's like this microcosm of the town itself.
It is.
Where everyone comes together.
And it's through those interactions, those little moments, that a community's real spirit shines through.
It makes you realize that, like, saving a town isn't just about preserving buildings or landmarks,
It's about nurturing those connections, the shared experiences that bring people together.
And Slow Burn reminds us that it's often those quiet, like, unsung heroes.
The ones you don't always see.
Right. Who make the biggest difference.
It's not always the big speeches or protests, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the people who just show up every day, offer a helping hand.
Yeah.
Listen with empathy. Work tirelessly behind the scenes.
To make their community better.
Exactly.
Like Dawn's mom, right?
Oh, yeah.
She quietly supports her daughter's efforts to save the beach, while also taking care of her elderly neighbors.
And Luke, the handyman.
Oh, yeah, Luke.
Always there to help fix things.
Always.
Offer a kind word.
They might not be, like, the most glamorous or outspoken.
Right.
But they're the backbone of that community.
They are.
They represent that, like, quiet strength and compassion that make a place truly special.
And ultimately, that's what makes Slow Burn so heartwarming.
Yeah.
And hopeful. It's a reminder that even when things are changing and uncertain, there's still beauty to be found in the everyday.
Yeah.
In the connections we make and the small acts of kindness.
That's so true.
They'll make a real difference.
So, as we wrap up our deep dive into Slow Burn, what resonated most with you? Was it the romance? The fight for the beach?
Yeah.
Or maybe how it explores community and human connection? Share your favorite moment with us in the comments below.
We'd like to hear your thoughts. And if Slow Burn inspired you to bake some Skilling's bowler.
Ooh, yes.
Or check out some local antique shops, let us know.
We'll include a recipe link in the show notes.
Definitely.
Thanks for joining our deep dive into Slow Burn. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the show and tell your friends about it. Until next time, keep diving deep.